Aloha, we're making guava jam. So first step, get your guava. These are not ripe yet. You could tell because they're still green and they're hard to pull off. These in my hand are ripe, so they're yellower and they're easy to pull off. And we have a lot of Waiawi strawberry guava trees on our property. So I try to get them before they land on the ground and pick them. You can see a bunch of them up here. The ripe ones are really easy to come off. They'll just come off or drop off. As you'll see, there are a lot of them on the ground that unfortunately did not survive before I could get them. That's step one. Pick your guavas. Yellow. Step two, wash them in a food safe wash. We use microdyne. These have been soaking for a little over half an hour. 10-15 minutes should be more than enough. Soak them, then trim them. Two is to trim the ends off both sides and throw them in a pot, which you'll cook down with a little bit of water to soften it. Basically, you want the juices, and then we'll strain it through and remove the skin and seeds so that we're just left with just the juicy pulp. So that's what I've been doing, basically taking each of these, trimming off the ends, getting the good part. If there's green on the skin, I cut off the green also. This part won't bother me because I'm going to be straining out the skin anyhow. So that's the deal. Doing that with all of these. These are all what I have left. And John went to our friends and picked up a whole bunch of Liliko'i, passion fruit. So I'm going to go through these, wash these in the microdyne also. Probably won't use all of the green ones, but for sure the ripe ones, the yellow ones. Make a little Guava Liliko'i jam. Waiawi Liliko'i. So this is the passion fruit, and this is the guava. And actually it's a strawberry guava. Traditional guava is pink inside, and this is that strawberry guava, Waiawi. And you can see it's all golden inside. It's a little bit sweeter, but still got the seeds. So that's why I'm going to cook it down and strain out the seeds. So the inside of the Waiawi, the Liliko'i. So I cut it. This is one of the ripe ones that I just washed in microdyne. I cut it in half, and that's the seeds. And you could even smell it. Super sweet. And so basically I'm just pulling them out of the fruit, the seeds, and I'm going to boil them with the Waiawi and get all the juices through and strain through all these seeds. And definitely not putting the skins of this in. The rind of this is super hard. The shell is hard, but as you can see, the seeds and the juice within it comes out very easily. In fact, I'm doing it single-handedly with my left hand, just squeezing all this out. Now, when I was a kid, this used to grow between our house and our neighbors, the Naones, on the fence between our houses, and we would just pick them and eat them, you know, straight off the vine, no rinsing, nothing. Yeah, who knows what kind of, well, I know there wasn't any kind of fertilizer or anything going on. It was just rainwater or my dad watering from our hose. But that's it. So this is a normal flavor for me, and we used to eat it, seeds and all. So who knows how many Liliko'i I have growing inside me. Same with the guava. The house, in fact, the Naones had a guava tree at the top of their property. It was the pink one, and they used to grow nice and big, and we would just eat it skin and all straight off the tree. Happy memories. And then our neighbors down the other side, the Kumaevas, had mango, and we would just pick their mango. Anyhow, memories. So I'm going to finish adding a couple more of the ripe Liliko'i that John brought home. Add them in here and get my jam on. So I've got the guava fruit as well as the Liliko'i in my pot. I added just a little bit of water to cover maybe the top. Have had it boiling for about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to stick my immersion blender in there just to make sure that all the skins are softened and all the seeds and fruits are pushed through. And then I'm going to let it cool and push it through a sieve and just get the fruits. So now we're pushing our fruit. As you can see, the black seeds from the Liliko'i and the little yellow specks seeds from the Guava. I blended everything with my immersion blender, and now it's cool. I'm just pushing it through my strainer. This is going to take a while. Just if I go, I'm going half a cup by half a cup, and I've processed one already, and I end up getting, I don't know if you could see below, about a quarter cup per half cup. So I'm gonna keep going. I got this whole bowl to do. So I'm gonna keep going on this, and then we'll jam it up after. All right, so I removed all the seeds and skins. You see a little bit of tiny black specks. I'm good with that because I'm gonna add something in shortly to help thicken this and make my jam, and you won't notice the black specks. So at the end of the de-seeding process, I ended up with 4 cups of puree. A lot of people sweeten their jams equal, so per 1 to 1, right? 1 cup of puree, 1 cup of sugar, and that's just too sweet for me. So I started at half that. The thing is that Liliko'i is tart, so I knew I was going to need a good deal of sugar. So instead of doing equal 1 to 1, I just did 2 cups of sugar and let John taste it to make sure it was sweet enough for him, that the Liliko'i wasn't too tangy, and it actually came out perfect. So he felt the flavor was nice. So the last batch of guava jam I made, I used pectin, and he felt it was a little too runny, not jammy enough. And I remembered that my strawberry jam, my chia seed strawberry jam, was jammy. So I'm using chia seeds as my thickener, which is why I said, don't worry about those black specks, those crushed seed bits. I'm just gonna stir in. So typically it's 2 tablespoons per 2 cups of fruit. And since I've got 4 cups of fruit, I've got 4 tablespoons here, and I'm just gonna get it stirred in. And it's really not going to start thickening until it cools. You know, it's not like making a gravy, you know, with flour. You need to get it hot so it starts to thicken. This is the opposite. I'm just incorporating, making sure my sugar is good and making sure that these are all done in evenly. And once I get it evenly dispersed, I'm just going to turn it off and let it cool. Once it cools to thickness, then I'll jar them or can them, as they say, and we'll have our Waiawi Liliko'i jam, chia seed jam. So ta-da, there you go. Final product to come. Thanks for following. There's the finished products, my 3 jars of jam. The thing about making chia jam is that the amount of chia seeds you need is really dependent on the juiciness of the fruit. And since Liliko'i is super juicy, and since really that's what I pressed out was just the puree, right, of both fruits, the guava and the passion fruit. So I ended up needing more, so I added 2 more tablespoons of chia seeds to this, and it thickened up real nice. So I had just a little over 4 cups of fruit puree, 2 cups of sugar, and ended up using 6 tablespoons of chia seeds. And voila, I got my jam. The other thing about using chia seeds is it went from being a golden color to having so much black specks in there that it looks almost green, but it's yummy. So there we have it. Chia seed Waiawi Liliko'i jam, otherwise known as strawberry, guava, and passion fruit chia seed jam. There you go. Cook the invasives. Love you. Bye.